Hey, federal employees, it's Sean Southworth, attorney for federal employees. I'm here to call out what's looking like what I believe is a massive wave of retaliation aimed at federal employees who dared to support diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility programs. If you've been following the news, you know the Trump administration has been shutting down DEI, quote, offices and placing staff on leave, often without due process. In fact, I personally filed FOIA requests with 10 federal agencies to find out exactly what's happening behind these closures. We're seeing an alarming trend, right? People who were assigned to DEI roles, some with duties similar to EEO counselors or investigators, are being systematically removed from their positions. Some new reporting even suggests people who attended DEI events, right? So here's the kicker. Under Title VII law, that's likely illegal. Why? Because when employees engage in what's called protected participatory activity, for example, processing EEO complaints, they're shielded from retaliation. The commission has been crystal clear on this, and other courts support it. Cases like Proctor versus USPS, Simpson versus Secretary of Treasury, Monroy versus U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, Winter versus Secretary of Agriculture. Those cases, I believe, confirm that agencies cannot target or discipline someone because they've helped enforce or advance federal non-discrimination rules in those contexts. So why participatory activity matters? Well, there's also something called oppositional activity. That's when you speak out against discrimination. That's protected too generally, but participatory activity like conducting EEO investigations often has absolute protection. It doesn't matter whether leadership agrees with you or not. Under Title VII, you're off limits for retaliation. In other words, forcibly shutting down DEI offices and reassigning staff who are tackling discrimination or slapping them with indefinite leave could be eventually found to violate federal law prohibitions. If these employees were engaged in EEO-related duties, like creating more accessible, inclusive workplaces, I believe they cannot be punished for it. I expect this to be a huge issue litigated, so I emailed Amanda Scales, the OPM chief of staff and Elon Musk's ally in the so-called efficiency and efforts. Her response was, well, she tried to say the crackdown doesn't apply to standard EEO functions, only the Biden-era DEI initiatives. But to me, that distinction makes no sense, because if the motive for punishing people, it appears to be EEO or DEI work itself. And now it appears they're punishing some people who just attended a DEI function, if the reporting is true. Here's why all this matters. Real people, real harm. These employees dedicated their careers to making federal workplaces fairer and more inclusive. Now they're on the chopping block for just doing their jobs. Illegal retaliation. If a court finds these actions are retaliatory, the government will face massive reversals, reinstatements, or other legal consequences. DEI EEO protections. Participatory activity in EEO process is deeply protected. Anyone forced out because of their DEI role might have a good retaliation claim under Title VII, depending on their particular situation. So what's next? My firm has filed FOIAs to uncover the backroom memos, emails, and directives that are driving this purge. We're prepared to advocate for employees whose rights are being trampled and who want to share the risk of litigation with us. We've already flagged the issue to key stakeholders in Congress and the legal community. We're hoping this won't stay hidden for long. Bottom line, if you're a federal employee who worked on DEI or EEO initiatives and you're being targeted because of your participation, you should learn your rights. This very well could be a violation of federal law, and we expect many of these actions could end up reversed or remedied in the court. There'd probably be extensive litigation. So anyway, stay informed, stay vigilant. If you or someone you know is caught up in this, please share this post and reach out for help in all of the ways. Let's stand together against retaliation and demand accountability for these sweeping, potentially unlawful actions. Thank you, everybody. Hope everybody has a great Sunday. Take care.